Wall balls, you know they're coming, I know they're coming. Bryce Smith here to talk to you about some wall ball tips and techniques to help you guys out when we see wall balls come up in the open. First and foremost, take a look down at my feet. When we do wall balls, we're going to jump our feet out shoulder width. I do recommend a gentle toe out if that's natural for you. Okay, from there we're going upstream. We want the knees tracking over our feet and our ankles. So as we come down, we're going to think about driving those knees out over the feet, but not at the expense of rolling out, right? We don't want to ever be too far inside or too far outside. We want those knees right over ankles and feet. And then we're going to think about the hips. They're going to load back and eventually down. So hypothetically, if I had a marble on my kneecap, that would then roll down to my hip crease at the bottom of that squat. With my chest and shoulders, we want to be chest is up, flashing that imaginary name tag towards the wall or towards that wall ball target. Shoulders are going to be pulled back and pushed down. It's important that the shoulders stay down, so we try to engage the lats a little bit as we hold that med ball right in front of that chin. If the med ball starts to drop down here, it's going to pull us forward and change our squat mechanics. And if those shoulders are way up and elbows are flaring, as you can see, this is a very compromised position on the shoulder. Plus, across a ton of wall balls, that's going to get real expensive on those shoulders. So you want shoulders pulled back and pushed down away from the ears. I'd like your head position. I know most people are looking way up towards that wall ball target. I'd like you guys to have just a generally little bit up chin and try to spot the target more so with your eyes than with your whole neck. When you're measuring from the wall ball target distance, I recommend about an arm's distance, plus or minus. You may step a half step back if you're a little bit of a forward squatter like myself, or you may step a little bit forward so that the verticality of your torso enables you to kind of be a little bit closer to that target. At the end of the day, the answer to that kind of depends on how you move as an athlete. Okay, so let's check out a few wall ball shots. As you know, the wall ball starts at the top. So we're going to pull that wall ball up to our starting position with the med ball right in front of our chin. We've got our squat stance, shoulder width, and we're going to travel. Full squat. As you can see, with breathing mechanics, I inhale on the descent and I exhale at the top. With regards to throwing mechanics, I like thinking about the index fingers pointing towards the target. So I'm holding the ball here with palms facing each other. And upon releasing that ball, I'm going to point my index fingers up into the target and then go ahead and receive that ball again right in front of the chin or the mouth. Okay? Some athletes, when they get shoulder fatigue, like to throw the ball and then kind of do a cyclical arm movement pattern, which I'll show now. So we start at the top, full squat. What that does is it gives the shoulders just a gentle break. As opposed to staying kind of in pseudo shoulder flexion, you come up, down and around, and they get a little bit of a nice little shakeout break. So that way we can have a little bit of longevity. As you heard in the beginning, I prefer the inhaling and then exhaling at the top. However, let's say you're real gassed from burpees, from rowing, from assault bike, from double unders, from countless other movements that can gas us a little bit. Because wall balls typically aren't that heavy, it's okay to exhale at the top and the bottom. Listen carefully as to how I do that here. That could be another tip and breathing mechanic strategy to keep you guys super efficient with longer, more intense workouts. Another thing that I want to emphasize, very similar to thrusters, the hips load way back. Sometimes when people get tired, they drive here. But as you can see, I'm still in hip flexion. So on the concentric, or on the way up, I'd like to see you guys heave those hips a little bit forward to propel the ball up into the target, okay? I'm gonna show 3 reps doing it the wrong way at the hip, and then I'm gonna show 3 reps doing it the right way. Now these next ones will be the right way. As you can see, those first ones, I'm using a lot more quad. I'm using a lot more of my arms, which makes it really fatiguing across high volume amount of wall ball shots. On those last three, I really emphasized hip drive, leg drive, full body force transfer into that ball, which enables me to not have to work quite so hard with some of my smaller muscle groups to preserve them for some of our other movements. Try your best to apply a lot of these tips and strategies when the wall balls come up in the open, and let's see some really awesome scores. Thanks, guys.